Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the ISRI Convention Vice Chair, Bruce Blue.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to our final general session for ISRI 2015. Your convention chair, Ken Dean, has been kind enough to share some of his stage time with me, and I appreciate the chance to be able to greet all of you again as we get to the closing day of this year's show. As has been the case for many of our ISRI conventions, our closing general session is produced with the generous support of Caterpillar. CAT is one of only a handful of companies that has exhibited at every ISRI convention since beginning in 1988. Their support has allowed us to bring you distinguished speakers from prime ministers to presidents to cabinet secretaries, all of whom have helped provide us with a glimpse into the global workings of diplomacy. We truly appreciate CAT's support. We still have a full day of workshops and sessions available for you that I hope you will enjoy, and look forward to tonight's closing gala, where we light the Olympic flame to start one of ISRI's best events ever. We are serving exceptional food. There'll be several different types of performers, dance groups, music groups, and you will be served wine in a way you have never experienced. You are in for a treat. And of course, the fireworks. Dress is business casual and appropriate for the weather, and I've been told that the weather will be about 50 degrees and clear. I can assure you that the opportunity for a great time. So let's get today started. Please welcome to the stage a friend of mine, Michael Condren, who is with the Caterpillar Industrial Group.
Good morning, and I'd like to also welcome you to the closing general session of the 2015 ISRI Exposition. Caterpillar is proud to sponsor this morning's keynote speaker, Robert Gates, former United States Secretary, Defense Secretary, and I might add, an outstanding author. Caterpillar is extremely proud to support organizations like the Institute of Scrap Recycling Industries and its members. We take great pride in being a long-standing associate member and exhibitor at the annual convention. As my friend Bruce just said, 27 years and counting. We plan to continue supporting the association and its initiatives for many, many years to come. We believe that being an active associate member comes with great responsibility. Associate membership is much more than attending the annual convention, a golf outing, or the local chapter meeting. It requires active engagement in the association's operating committees and governance meetings. Associate members need to adopt the association's critical initiatives and make them our own. Whenever possible, associate members must champion these issues and causes to help ensure long-term strength of both the association and its membership. One ISRI initiative we take very seriously is safety. Not only safety within our own company and that of our own employees, but the safety of our customers and their employees. Our industry and the work that we all do presents us with potential hazards on a daily basis. We understand that, and so do our engineering team members who are busy now designing our next generation of recycling equipment and attachments. We will continue to implement new safety features on every piece of CAT equipment. Our cab-to-the-ground system on our MH3000 series material handlers is a great example of this effort. This feature will prevent the common slips, trips, and falls. Our rear side camera systems and side view camera systems will help operators with improved visibility, which will also prevent workers from being struck by mobile equipment. And in the near future, we will be utilizing object detection systems that scan for people and objects near the machine, providing the operator with the increased level of awareness of his or her surroundings. The advanced technologies being developed today will be incorporated into our machines of the future. Caterpillar has adopted ISRI safety initiatives. We have made these causes our own. I'd also like to applaud the newly formed Circle of Safety Excellence. We are fully supportive of the Circle, and I challenge each one of you to get involved if you haven't done so already. ISRI Chair Doug Kramer said at a recent board meeting I was at, "It takes some movement to get the traction we need," referring to the industry working together in safety. Well, the movement has started. I can see it, so I ask you to keep driving that forward. Another important subject I'd like to briefly discuss is sustainability. Our strategy at Caterpillar is to provide work environments, products, services, and solutions that make productive and efficient use of resources. We should all strive to improve the quality of the environment where we live and work. In the next decade, we believe the most successful companies will be those that integrate sustainability into their core business. That's what we are doing at Caterpillar, and we are helping our customers do that in all industries and to do it the same. I'd like to wrap up by saying thank you. Thank you for being part of such a great industry and allowing Caterpillar to play a small role in that as well. Although we are working in challenging economic times, it's great to see so many companies working diligently to advance our industry. After all over 500,000 directly and indirectly families rely on the recycling industry. I believe we can all agree that our future generations deserve a better world left for them. When I look at the scrap recycling industry and the impact on the environmental protection, resource conservation, and sustainability, I can confidently say that each person in this room is paving the way for a better world tomorrow. So on behalf of the extended family at Caterpillar and our global dealer network, I would like to thank you for the continued opportunity to earn your business. Thank you.
This year is my first international ISRI convention, and it's really great talking to people because everyone actually is trying to be very honest and make great connections with each other.
I think the technologies that we've discovered are the ones that give us more of a streamlined processing as we high grade and we separate the materials so that we get the optimum recovery.
The most rewarding part for me is watching our members learning and growing and taking advantage of the services that we provide for them and really working with each other and helping each other. That is what we were made for. That's what we do.
Engage global partners. Experience a world of recycling knowledge. Examine the dimensions of today's marketplace, environmental and safety challenges. Explore the wide horizon of tomorrow's promising opportunities and effective solutions. Encounter ISRI, the voice of the recycling industry. For over a century, the scrap recycling industry has been a critical player in the nation's economic growth, the conservation of our natural resources, and the preservation of our environment. ISRI has been a reliable and effective partner for recyclers everywhere, providing world-class safety training programs and products, environmental guidance, and powerful advocacy for the success of industry at home and abroad. Join us at the ISRI2015 Convention and Exposition at Mandalay Bay Resort and Casino in Las Vegas, April 3rd through 7th, 2016. Encounter ISRI, the voice of the recycling industry. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the Chair-elect of the Institute of Scrap Recycling Industries, Mark Luan.
Good morning. Before I get to the substance of my speech today, I want to take a minute to commend ISRI Chair Doug Kramer, Convention Chair Ken Digneen, Vice Chair Bruce Blue, and the army of staff who've managed to put on a really terrific event here in Vancouver. I had the good fortune of serving as Convention Chair about a decade ago and got to experience firsthand all the planning and detailed work that goes into building an ISRI convention. And since I was Convention Chair, the show has tripled in size or more. Add to that the complications of trying out a convention across the border here in Canada, and I can only imagine the work that's been done in the year, and especially in the past week. Please join me in a round of applause for a job well done. In even-numbered years, the chair-elect's speech topic is very straightforward. That speech is used for him or her to set the agenda for the coming term, to lay out the items that will be priorities in the next administration. And more often than not, the circumstances of real life step in to change at least some of those priorities before the chair even gets started working on them. Even when that does happen, it does not make setting those goals any less important. But what about an odd-numbered year? What am I supposed to talk about with you this year? Let's talk a bit about what we can do to change the things we need to change and to protect against the wolves that always seem to gather when times get tough. My family's been around the recycling business for a long time. For anyone counting, I'm part of the fourth generation in the industry. We've been involved with ISRI and its predecessors pretty much my entire life. Over the years, some in our industry have sought to manage public affairs by not managing them. They go out of their way when they can to avoid getting involved in their communities and with their elected leaders, believing that if you stay on the sidelines, you stay out of the line of fire. There was a time when that might have appeared to be effective on some level, but in reality, it's not. It never has been. It doesn't work in Salt Lake City, and it doesn't work well anywhere else either. In fact, over the long term, it's put our industry and ISRI at a disadvantage. Whenever we find ourselves facing overzealous legislators or regulators, we find that practically 100% of the time, they are trying to do their jobs based either on false assumptions of what we do or at best zero knowledge of what we do. And because of that, we spend an enormous amount of time dispelling incorrect information before we ever get to educate them on our operations. We keep digging our own holes and having to fill them back in. The new reality is that the world is simply too connected for our industry or our companies to be invisible in our communities. A neighbor with a cell phone camera and a grudge can do just as much harm as an uninformed newspaper reporter or any other individual in government. We have got to proactively be a part of our neighborhoods. We have to be aware of our appearance. To the untrained public, does your facility look like a junkyard or does it look like a responsible manufacturing facility? Appearance counts like never before. And educating the regulators about why we stack material up helps them understand why a 6-month port slowdown is not acceptable policy. Be attuned to complaints about noise, about traffic, about anything that is troubling them enough to contact you. You don't always have to resolve a problem to their complete satisfaction, but showing that you are concerned, helping them understand your operations, investing in neighborhood improvements can often go a long way to build goodwill with the people who will help you most, or hurt you worst, in front of some local board. So what about your local governments? How are things when you have to go to the city or county for a license or a permit? Where I come from, we have some issues. Salt Lake City and what we call the Wasatch Front has some air quality issues. We live in a bowl, and at certain times of the year, pollution and dust build up, creating unhealthy conditions for people. The U.S. EPA and the state and the city are trying to figure out ways to improve the situation and no one's opposed to that. But our job is to make sure that we don't get hurt by the often unintended consequences stirred up by the ill-informed. The first time that we heard, "We want you to move," from a city official, we were shocked. For those of you who haven't been to our plant, which I believe is probably most of you in the room, our next-door neighbor is an oil refinery. I politely pointed that out to the city official. Now we hear the mayor of Salt Lake City discussing moving the 5 oil refineries that are on the Wasatch Front to the eastern part of the state. Moving these oil refineries isn't going to happen. But the point that I want to illustrate is that with government, unworkable or impractical solutions get brought to the fore because the people affected are not able to push back or don't push back and point out the obvious problems. Permitting has become a ridiculously difficult proposition in Salt Lake City and probably where you live too, somewhere in the rest of the country. That should not be the case. Our mayor has basically let city staff direct the policies of the different departments. Right or wrong, when staff control the decisions, an important level of accountability has been removed from the system, and we, as citizens and business owners, are placed at a disadvantage. We realized that our only option was to get aggressive with city decision makers. We had to make them understand the impact that some of their regulatory zeal was going to have on our company and others. We had to show them the practical consequences that can come from some pretty harmless-sounding regulation. When it comes to our local governments, we're the ones that have to educate. We're the ones who are forced to put on the pressure, or else our regulatory burden will only get worse. And if education and pressure don't work, it's time to change the elected officials themselves. I'll let you know in November how everything works out. ISRI, through our chapters, has a fairly well-respected mechanism for addressing state-level issues affecting our industry, particularly when we ourselves are in agreement with our needs. Chapters have traditionally been the keepers of government policy at the state level, since there often can be different solutions to issues that work better in different parts of the country. In recent years, ISRI has developed resources and provided staff support to assist chapters in keeping track of legislation and regulations in the states, and to alert chapters when issues begin to percolate in their states or in other parts of the nation. ScrapTheftAlert.com has gone from being a great public relations tool for us into a working tool that is seeing more and more adoption by law enforcement and lawmakers every day. It is in our best interests to use that program and to encourage other facilities in our communities to use it as well. Showing our legislators that we fully intend to be a part of the solution is the best way to avoid creating our own bigger problems. And our friends here in Canada deserve a nod on this. The original version of a scrap theft reporting website was developed by regulators and recyclers here in British Columbia. ISRI helped make it a useful tool for law enforcement across North America. At the national level, ISRI has developed a government relations team that, in my opinion, is best in class. ISRI's reputation in Washington and in capitals around the world has been built by showing responsible leadership and by building goodwill in places that not too long ago we avoided whenever possible. Recently, ISRI staff met with officials at OSHA, looking for ways to partner with them to better develop an understanding and to improve what we all know to be a dismal safety record. OSHA officials were somewhat surprised when they found out about the extensive and well-produced safety training materials and consulting support our association provides, largely for free, and that's to any ISRI member. And now we're building a basis that may allow us to keep our employees and customers safer with the support of the agency instead of simply harassment by the agency. We've started the Circle of Safety Excellence program. The 83 member companies have already provided valuable data to help us begin to benchmark safety in our industry. And that program can only get stronger as more of our members join this distinguished group. Simply having this program adds to ISRI's credibility with government agencies. Earlier this week, Doug Kramer noted that the huge success ISRI had in fighting EPA rulings on the definition of solid and hazardous waste. By the way, when he was giving deserved credit to the members of the committee that helped spearhead that fight, he left one off. He left himself off the list. Doug's leadership was an essential part of that group's success. And as he noted, because of the work that ISRI members and staff did, we're sending out thank you notes while other industries are filing lawsuits. He deserves a big round of applause. Just a few months ago, ISRI's electronics recyclers celebrated a victory when President Obama signed the Unlocking Consumer Choice and Wireless Competition Act, that while providing protections for consumers who suffer the loss of cell phones and other smart devices to theft, also made provisions to allow recyclers and refurbishers the ability to bulk unlock used telephones for refurbishment and resale. The original version of the bill had specifically prohibited recyclers from unlocking phones. It was through the work of ISRI members, in conjunction with others lobbying the House and Senate Judiciary Committees, that we were able to change the law to something that benefits our members and our industry and consumers alike. In some ways, I hope you will look at this speech as a precursor to the priorities I want to bring as ISRI as chair. I want to increase participation at all levels of ISRI, to encourage members to become more involved at home, for chapters to be more involved in state capitals, for all of us to be heard in Washington, and for ISRI to be heard wherever we can help around the world. We're smart business people who should be responsible stewards of our communities, but we're also taxpayers and job creators who make a significant contribution. I want us to build new relationships at home, to be a source of information for politicians at all levels, and a force for politicians to reckon with when that's required as well. Becoming such a source and such a force can't be done by only a few committed folks. It can't be conjured by a great staff. If we truly want to be the industry that we know we can be, we must all be ready to be in the game. One thing that amazes me in this industry is the number of us who already know the politicians and regulators who are affecting our lives and businesses, but they never think to share that connection with ISRI. One day that relationship may make a world of difference not only for you, but for the entire industry. Let ISRI staff or officers know whom you know. These relationships are critically important. In today's world, you cannot leave your destiny to other people. If you truly want to change, you have to be ready, willing, and able to change it yourself. Be part of the voice of the recycling industry. Let's keep doing it right. Thank you. Now please welcome ISRI Chair Doug Kramer.
I'd say you nailed that one. Thank you, Mark. Mark and I have known each other a long time. Our families have known each other a long time. And it's been really great working with him for all the years that we've worked together, but especially over the last few as officers of this association. And I really look forward to working with Mark and working toward more accomplishments over the next year and certainly in his term as chairman. Yesterday, we had the pleasure of honoring two important leaders of our industry, and today there's another person I want us to recognize. I'm talking about ISRI's own Marion White. Many of you have seen a story in the January issue of Scrap Magazine about the amazing Marion White. She's been working for ISRI since before ISRI was ISRI. Marion joined the staff of the Institute of Scrap Iron and Steel in February of 1980, working in the association's mailroom. Since that time, She's helped see the office through 2 moves, served under 2 CEOs, Herschel Cutler and Robin Weiner, and outlasted dozens of other staff members who have come and gone through the years. She has seen 19 different elected leaders of this trade association. She has been to each of the last 17 ISRI conventions. In that time, if you got a tote bag with all kinds of goodies in it, it's a good chance that she made that happen. In recent years, she's been responsible for distributing a lot of the badges we've all worn, and for more years than that, you can be sure that her fingerprints were on most of the mail that you've received from ISRI. Marion, I want you to know that the staff, the officers, and the members of ISRI truly appreciate your years of service, and I'm honored to be the one to present you with this certificate recognizing your 35 years with ISRI. Congratulations. Thank you very much. And Marion, please come up here. We're going to take a picture, okay? You're welcome so much. That's a really good part of this job. Several years ago, ISRI's Board of Directors established the Design for Recycling Award to recognize companies or organizations that have incorporated recyclability into their products. This year, our DFR Award Committee had some tough choices to make as they received nominations from several strong contenders. And I want to thank all of those who were involved in the nomination and selection process. Over the past few months, under the leadership of Manny Bodner, this committee has met in person and by phone, reviewing applications and interviewing individuals from nominated companies, all in an effort to vet the nominees and select this year's winner. Please take a look at the screens.
The ISRI Design for Recycling Award is given to a company whose product design has incorporated one or more of the following that enhances recyclability at the end of its product life. A reduction in the number of different recyclable materials used in production, a reduction or elimination of hazardous constituents, an increased yield of the product's recyclables, an improvement in the safety of recycling, a design that allows for easy disassembly for recycling. Against these criteria, ISRI is proud to announce the winner of the Design for Recycling Award.
The 2015 Design for Recycling Award goes to LG Electronics, Inc., specifically LG's 4K Ultra HD OLED and LED TVs. I dare you to try to say that. These products were designed with recycling in mind and include the following recycling-friendly traits: mercury-free display panels, use of recycled and recyclable plastics, inclusion of PVC and BFR-free components, small and lighter packaging, ease of disassembly and label seal separation, and the standardized materials and connection types. Please welcome Dr. Nandakumar, LG Senior Vice President from LG Technology Center of America, and Jane Kang, LG Product of Stewardship Manager. Right here in the middle.
Heavy award. Thank you, Doug. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a tremendous honor, and I would like to thank the Institute of Scrap Recycling Industries and the ISRI Selection Committee for recognizing LG Electronics with the 2015 Design for Recycling Award. I'm proud to accept this coveted award on the behalf of LG Electronics, and in particular on behalf of our environmental engineering and sustainability teams in Korea and in the United States who work to promote DFR principles in our products every day. Our Design for Recycling initiatives represent a key element of LG's green product strategy under the company's broader strategic roadmap to develop products that reduce negative environmental impacts throughout their life cycle, including when they are ready for recycling. Sustainability is a core business principle at LG Electronics, and we believe LG has a shared responsibility to protect the environment by reducing our environmental impact while enhancing the quality of life for consumers. We call this innovation for a better life, developing innovative products with the environment in mind without sacrificing performance, style, or value. LG's industry-leading OLED and Ultra HD TVs, recognized by ISRI, embodies LG's strategic direction for products with greener features designed to reduce the environmental load at every stage of the product life cycle. We look for ways to improve product recyclability before we begin developing a product and reduce negative environmental impacts by designing our products for easier part identification and accessibility, for easier disassembly, and for better material recyclability. We also look for ways to reduce product weight and volume and use recycled materials, including slim designs, and carry out R&D activities for enhanced material quality and product structure. LG's greener packaging design guidelines have helped to reduce the weight and volume of packaging materials, promote the use of certified recycled packing materials, and promote the reuse and recycling of packaging materials. Again, we thank ISRI for this tremendous honor. We are very proud that our efforts have been recognized among the ranks of other well-known leaders in environmental sustainability honored by ISRI over the years. And we look forward to working with ISRI to promote DFR principles. Thank you.